Look at that pretty face. Did you just wink at them as a sausage?
Maybe.
How dare you?
A robot? A machine taking orders?
Holy shit, it's Beef Supreme! Up, oh, let me grind while I build this rope. Fuck yeah.
Well, top of the wampus to you.
Happy what day?
Friday.
Friday.
Friday the 10th.
I forgot to put on my fucking my thing. My puppy.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, but you wear it like all the week leading up. And it's tomorrow.
Hey!
And we won't stream tomorrow because it's,
Hi, my name's Jinjee.
Yeah, he's passed out on my
And
lap.
I'm a passed out. How are you, Beef Supreme? And how are you, Jason Peluvio Fillion? Ow! You son of a bitch! Alrighty then. Fucking glaved me. Hello. Son of a bitch. How are you guys?
Happy
Sorry
Friday.
we haven't seen you in a couple of days.
There's been lots of snow. So we've been waking up and basically going out and doing snow removal. And then we are just exhausted afterwards. So
Yeah, it's a lot of snow removal. There shouldn't be any more. I think maybe bleed, little bastard.
Bullshit.
How you get so cute and evil? Yeah, so pushing snow. Everything's kind of closed tomorrow pretty much because it's a holiday.
So we needed to go and get a bunch of
Sunday
groceries
everything
too.
is generically closed. So yeah.
I want to know your stupid question, Jason.
Hit us.
Ask your probably a stupid question. I doubt it is. I won't think you're dumb. I've been told many times in my life, no questions are stupid. So
Correct, Jason. I do not have.
because if you don't remove it, then it'll pile up and it's like really fucking heavy. Like it's wet.
Yeah, what happens is if you consistently drive over it, it packs into ice. And then you basically will have a snow layer over top of ice.
Yeah.
And
that's not good.
You need the other thing is that so we don't have like a driveway.
No.
I mean, we do. We have a approach, or not an approach, but like
there's a culvert.
Yeah, a culvert with
dirt.
Yeah,
mounds of dirt.
But like we park on what would perceptibly be to most the lawn, and basically with vehicles, the more you move
Jason doesn't get a lot of snow, so he doesn't understand. And it's not a stupid question. If you don't get snow, you don't know.
Yeah, like actually a good example is, so yesterday, like I said, I'd like to get groceries before we shovel so that,
actually, the highways were bad enough the other day that Shania Twain's tour bus fucking crashed on the number one outside Wolseley. Yeah, people are fine. I think 2 people were taken to hospital, but they're okay. But yeah, the highways were so bad that this double-decker bus hit a patch of black ice and it was out by Wolseley, which is like 100 kilometers east of Regina.
Yeah, it's technically closer to us than not closer to us. Look at this little bastard did to my hand. Can you see that?
Yep.
First thing in the morning, not going to have to contend with that. It's never going to heal from washing my hands all the time. But
he did not want boop.
Look at him, though. You're telling me he doesn't want boop?
No, he's hiding his nose.
I mean, god damn, you're cute. It's like Carl. We have a heated cat house for him now. We like put wood so that like he can go in, but other things might not be able to.
Also,
doesn't go in.
I will say, Jason, snow removal is so important that like when I worked at rental, it was so important for like our workers to stay on top of it, because if somebody fell, like they could sue. It's a very suable thing.
It's basically like a city town mandated thing. Like you know how they say you
are mandated as a homeowner to have to remove the snow.
Yeah. You know how they say you got to cut your grass. It can't be a certain length. It's kind of the same thing with the sidewalk.
You'll get like messages from the city like you have to remove the snow from your sidewalk in front of your house, and you're like, fuck you, it's city property. It's still like part of your agreement as a homeowner to remove the snow from the sidewalk in front of your house.
Yeah,
or business or whatever.
That doesn't really show Jinjee. Ah! Okay, no Jinjee. See if Carl or the magpies are around.
But it's not. That's not a stupid question. That's a very good question.
We had to drive to.
Salt does work. It will melt it, but if it doesn't melt all the way, it'll kind of turn back into ice. But it does melt it. Like if you're gonna do anything to your steps, you want to do a mixture of like cat litter and salt.
That's fucking crazy, Nate. So the problem is that most people don't take into account it's fucking hard. Like if it's a really wet, heavy snow, people with disabilities.
Oh, people have heart attacks and die from.
Snow. More people die from snow than cutting grass.
Actually, you should look up because it's a pretty good workout. Like the calories burnt per hour from shoveling snow is like. It's a really...
Salt the roads, not the ice.
It's a really high workout.
So they do salt the roads here, Jason. We have grader trucks. Yeah. So they'll scrape roads and they'll also drop sand and salt. The only thing that happens...
They don't do it in town, though.
This is a particular part of the year that's really hard to manage because it's cold and above freezing. Yeah. So in the middle of the day, everything melts. Yeah. But then as it starts to cold, sheets of ice form across,
and then it snows on top of it.
So if they put a bunch of salt down in the morning and melt a whole bunch of stuff before like supper time, by the time supper time comes around, well, it's fucking ice now. Yeah. So it's like a really shitty balancing game that we don't have a solution for, because our solution is basically to use machines that destroy the highways so that we have a make work project of highway repair next year. It's
they seem to do it though in Scandinavian countries. I don't know what it is about our roads that they can't seem to do decent snow removal.
Sweden and Finland have
it's fucking cold there as it is here, and they have figured that shit out.
Iridescent or luminescent paint on their roads, so at nighttime
people can still go biking in the winter.
What was I gonna look up? Oh yeah, calories burnt
from snow
removal.
Yeah.
The other thing, Jason, a lot of people...
216 calories in 30 minutes for a 155-pound person. That's a lot of calories. Like, that's a pretty high-calorie workout.
Yes, well, there is a snow blower, Jason. The only thing is, so a snow blower, it's not as, say, hassle-free as one would believe. Yeah. Because, A, it's cold. We don't have a... Hey, Drizzle! We don't have a garage to park it in or whatever, right? It's quite a heavy machinery to move if you don't have one that is self-propelled. Yeah. And also has a reverse option, or else you gotta tilt down this, like...
I've seen people use
200-pound machine,
like leaf blowers, but that's like really limited in what you can kind of move,
right? Like where Krissy was talking, where she worked, if the people got out soon enough, they could just leaf blower the snow off. But I see fuck Kentucky. I was dissing Kentucky. You said Well, in Kentucky, they don't ice the roads.
They
do you
just
get
salt.
Yeah, but do you get snow in Kentucky? I thought you just got... I thought it was a southern state.
Weren't we listening to something, though, the other day that, like, the States is starting to experience colder and colder winters, and basically their electrical infrastructure isn't, like, built to deal with it, so they're going to be experiencing, like, a shitload of brownouts.
So, yeah, they said that just like in the summer, air conditioning units use all of the fucking available electricity. In the winter, it's heating oriented.
Yeah.
And on the coasts, they got lots of electricity, but it all comes through the Midwest. So all the places nobody invests in, the Wyomings and Oklahomas and Arkansas, they actually hold the bottleneck of electricity in the States. And they said that if, shit hits the fan, right now, they're operating with less online generators than any year previously. So it's like it's a gamble with Mother Nature, right? We've already got snow in Tennessee. It's not common, but it's often enough that we salt the roads. Usually it only lasts a day or two, but it's bad enough for a ton. Oh, absolutely. So where we are versus where people think all Canadians live, vastly different.
Oh, yeah.
In Toronto, Montreal, Ontario, it's like minus 10 degrees and a little bit of snow.
They get a centimeter and they don't know how to drive.
They shut it down.
Yeah.
Everyone stay home. Where we are, it's like fucking strap it into four-wheel drive and you go.
Sometimes people put chains on their tires.
Yeah, well, in BC, like mountain climbing, you have to get them. But on a flat plane, you got to do that stuff sometimes because...
But yeah, we will have... I guarantee you at some point during the winter, there will be a day that's minus 40. There will be one for sure. It always happens. One day that's minus 40. We will get a day where there's probably it'll snow at least that much.
Yeah. Hello, Scone. Jordan. Oh, basically if they're talking of snow, they cancel school here.
Yeah, that doesn't happen out here.
No, they won't cancel it unless it's a whiteout.
Part of the reason is because there has to be a place for kids to go somewhere safe and warm in case for some reason they are forced to go to school or something like that. Like the school has to be open for that purpose.
Yeah, like it's its own.
So we don't have snow days. I never once experienced it. Like there might be technically a snow day where it's like you can stay home if you want, but my mom still made me go to school. I remember being forced to put on my snow pants and fucking trudge in the darkness to school through like a fucking foot of snow. Yeah, he's a shit.
Oh, fucker.
And I know I'm like, walking to school both ways uphill. Like, no, legitimately, I fucking did that.
I got fucking shafted because I lived across the street from the school. So
I live pretty far.
Regardless, I would go, and then they might tell us to go home. But I was also one of the lucky ones who just got to go home. The rest would maybe have to wait for parents, depending on how they got there.
Yeah, you lived right across the street. I did.
But also, at recess and lunch and stuff, it was pretty convenient like that. I'd be like, hey, I feel like a snack, fuck you guys, and I'd just walk across the street and they'd be all at the fence like, hey, it's going home.
I lived probably a 15-minute walk from home. It was pretty far.
I was 2 blocks away from my high school and literally across the street from my elementary school.
15 probably and I say that as an adult, I think I could probably get that. I'm trying to think how long that, the walk from Prince Arthur to Crescent Park, essentially in Moose Jaw. That's probably for a kid.
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes, yeah.
About 15 minutes in the old, the crack den of Moose Jaw.
I never really got to go home for lunch because it was too far of a walk. To get home, eat lunch, and then walk back to school.
Yeah, I was lucky in that sense. When I was a young kid, before the age of 6, we lived on the other side of town from my school. But whatever. Today we're not supposed to have snow. I believe it's supposed to be 1 outside, 1 degree Celsius. So it should be pretty nice. We already fed Carl this morning.
I had to get my work in somehow else other than like shoveling snow. So I had a good like 90s dance party. It was a good time.
I mean, it's true. Yeah. I got rid of the playlist, but there was Darude Sandstorm, Push It, Salt and Pepper.
Yeah.
What was the first ones you put on?
Oh, Brown Van 3000.
Oh, yeah. Brown Van. What was the other one, though?
Mr. Vane by...
Yeah, Mr. Vane. Oh, Mr. Vane. And then...
I know what I want, and I want it now. And I want you, because I'm Mr. Vane.
We were listening to robot music.
Yeah.
A robot? A machine taking orders?
We watched a great movie last night.
We'll
get there, though.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah. I'm just letting them know of all the great things.
We watched another Black and Whiter. We also had some songs that I added when Krissy went to have a shower. Does anybody know the song that one Blade? It was on the movie Blade, Blade 2, and it was by the Crystal Method, and it's called The Name of the Game. It was a techno song. I just remember being a kid. There's like 3 techno songs. Fucking
only 3.
Yeah, there
only
was
3, okay.
Darude Sandstorm. That's the name of the game.
What about Popcorn? It's like
the popcorn song. We used to have to do this all the time. See if I can find it. But what was the other one I added? That was like a Bangarang by Skrillex was the Krissy didn't know that one. I was like, you have to have heard it. It was on everything. Popcorn song. I mean, this has got to be. Oh, fuck you, Crazy Frog.
Yeah, Hot Butter.
20 million views. That's it. Is this it?
Oh. Wait, maybe. Just the intros.
Yeah.
Hey, no copyright infringement. Oh wait, I don't know what that means.
It's saying basically this was put out to. It shouldn't.
Okay.
Trip it, but it might. Did you guys have to listen to this in gym class? Where you did the balloon or the big tarp thing, big tent with balls on it?
The song goes hard.
You ever see the Oh, I don't think I have seen the Muppets pop. They used to. I think
I know
this
they
was
do.
like
Banana. Na, 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 na.
This was banana. This was like one of those weird songs they would play to like get kids to burn off their energy.
Yeah.
One of my favorite.
You forgot about this song, didn't you?
I did. But yes, we did. We watched a movie. We watched a scary.
Also, good morning, Jordan.
Night of the Hunter. So the weird thing about this that
that
you definitely won't know that because we didn't know unless you've seen it is the things that actually were inspired by this.
Lots of things apparently have drawn influence from this movie.
So you may know. Let's see if we can just find a little clip of the one thing.
The one thing? A clip of the one thing.
So there's a first movie that was inspired by it is
I can also see how the narrator would be inspired by the one character.
So the line "The Dude Abides"
the dude
from The
abides.
Big Lebowski is from The Night of the Hunter.
Well, it's not exactly, but it's like inspired from The Night of the Hunter.
So
you've seen The Big Lebowski.
You've never seen The Big Lebowski? Bro, it's so good.
You need to see The Big Lebowski.
Yeah,
The Big Lebowski's fucking great.
This is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass, Larry?
Larry, this is what happens when you fuck a stranger in the ass.
So
it is such a great movie. You should watch that movie tonight, Jason. If you have nothing to do, please watch The Big Lebowski. It's a great movie.
So the other thing is he has the love and hate tattoos on his knuckles, which is like, you know, I mean, it's being brought up, right, in things.
I'm sorry,
I've never seen a movie. He only watches Vaporeon on Hey, Brackinator, what? So yes, Robert Mitchum, not to be confused with Mitchum deodorant. And Shelley Winters. So this gentleman, he is an evangelical preacher man.
Oh, man. He sure is.
He'll help make sure that Satan does not get a hold of your soul.
Yeah.
He's also a
serial
piece
killer
of human shit.
Yeah.
Like the very intro of the scene, like of the movie, is like he had just killed someone.
Yeah.
And he's driving in his old 50s car and he's like, God, who else should I kill? More widows? Oh, it's already 7.
Yeah.
It's like, whoa, okie dokie.
Yeah.
So
he thinks God speaks to him to tell him to, like, essentially kill women of ill repute. And he thinks all women are of ill repute, essentially.
Yeah. So this woman is the goat.
Yeah, she is goat. She is
the one that says children abide.
Yeah.
And what she's referring to
children
is
abide and they endure.
Yeah, like they will survive.
Yeah, they will survive, yeah.
And that's why he says the dude abides on the Big Lebowski.
But we'll talk about why she's also one of my favorite characters in a moment.
Yeah. So this woman, actually, she has a husband and a little girl. And
she has two children, a little boy and a little girl.
Yes. Yeah. And this is, I don't know how many pearls there are on the planet.
God, every person
but this little
or character
girl
named Pearl fucking sucks.
So the dad is not a bank robber. These are the kids.
Yeah, these are the kids.
Look at her. She looks like
they've been riding
pissed off Christina Ricci.
They've been riding in a boat for a few days by this point.
Okay,
so.
they've been they Huck Finned it down the river. Okay, so the dad comes busting home and he goes, "Is his name John? Johnny? Is the kid's name? Johnny. I got all this money here, Johnny." I don't know. The dad killed 2 people and took $10,000.
Yeah, which is still a lot of money today.
He told this boy, "Don't tell anybody. You're the only one. Don't let your mom know. She don't got no sense."
Yeah. And then they hid it in the doll.
And then the dad
girl's doll
gets hung. He gets caught.
Dad gets caught.
He's actually
gets sent to jail. And while he's in jail, he's in the same cell as this reverend man.
This man.
Who
was arrested for stealing a car, not being a serial killer.
Yeah, because he was already an established serial killer by this point. They just hadn't caught him for that. They just caught him for stealing a vehicle.
And so, in his sleep, the guy's mumbling like
about the $10,000.
The kids will tell you the way. The kids will tell you the way. And then this guy's like creepily watching him from the top bunk. Yeah. And I mean,
he extracts the information that he can from him. So then when he's released from jail, he goes and finds this guy's widow.
That's her.
Yeah.
And there's this old bitch, this one right here.
She sucks.
Oh my God. There's actually a lot of stuff in here.
Oh, it's so applicable to today.
Like
in this movie.
Yeah, like if you feel like
for being made in 1955, holds up so fucking good.
Yeah, like she basically, it's been like, there's no time frame of reference in this movie. It could be hours or days or weeks or months between certain scenes and you don't know.
Or like at least between, like also in regards to like after the Depression sometime. You don't know. Like,
It appears that, I don't know, her husband was hung yesterday and then this woman's like, you need to find yourself a man to raise these kids.
You can't raise children alone. You need a man.
Yeah.
And then she's like, you should date this reverend man.
Yeah, so then the reverend guy comes into town.
Oh, can we describe their wedding night?
Oh, yeah. It's hot and steamy. It's as hot and steamy as it gets.
Oh, so she she puts on that nightgown, that pink nightgown that she's wearing red. You don't know it's
because
it's in black and white.
Yeah.
So she puts on this nightgown and comes into the bedroom. And she's like, "Hey."
He's laying in bed looking the opposite direction.
And she's just like, "Hey," and he's like, basically like, "I'm not having sex with you.
You interrupted my prayers,
like,
bitch."
This is a spiritual marriage. He's like, do you want more children or do you want to look after the children that you currently have? He's like, because I think you should focus on the children that you currently have. This is a spiritual marriage between us. There ain't no fucking way that we're banging. You are a woman of
Heathen,
Satan.
witch.
Yeah, how dare you think that you want that?
Devil child.
Go to sleep. And she's like, oh my God, I'm a terrible person. Oh my God, okay, so I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, he's just like, chastise the shit out of her.
Yeah.
And so then basically she becomes...
like a very submissive.
Yeah, like, make me clean.
Yeah.
Heal my soul. And then, well... She catches him asking the kids, where's the fucking money?
Yeah, and she kind of gives him this look like, and then he murders her.
Yeah, and then he murders her.
Yeah.
And then he tells that old bag that was like, you need to find yourself a man.
Yeah.
He tells her that she left him and she even kicked him out of bed on their wedding night.
Yeah. Yeah. So he lies and says that like she didn't want to sleep with him. Yeah.
Oh, what about the part where she says
he murders her by like driving her body into the stream,
the lake,
the river. Yeah, where
the Mississippi.
Yeah, like so like her little kids, like the son goes fishing with their uncle Freddie all the time. And
he did stab her first.
Yeah, so he stabbed her first and then like drove her body into the river.
Yeah, and this uncle, we don't know if he's a biological uncle.
No, but he's a nice old man. But
just a drunkard.
unfortunately, yeah, his drunkenness, even though he says to the kids, I will help you, as much as like whenever you need me, let me know, I will come help you. Unfortunately, his drunkenness impedes his ability to actually help these children.
As he says, at my age, you need a little gasoline in the boiler in the morning.
Because like the uncle sees the body in the river, but then he doesn't go to the police about it because he's so scared that the police will basically accuse him of murdering her.
Yeah.
That he just becomes like impotent in regards to being able to help anybody and just becomes like super drunk.
Yeah.
So the children show up and they're like, fuck, he's drunk, he can't help us. So they take his boat and they start a little trip down the Mississippi.
Heading down the Mississippi. And they basically, like, as they are kind of crashing into banks or like finding places to sleep, he is he's on a horse.
He's on a horse following him. And it's just like some of the scariest silhouettes.
He ends up, basically everywhere they go.
He somehow ends up there.
And we don't know how.
Yeah.
At all. He just kind of like, again, we don't know if it's like a day, a week, or a month, and he's just like there.
Yeah.
The little girl has taken to him a bit more.
Then the brother does not, like the little boy does not like him at all. But the little girl likes him.
Yeah, and his whole thing is trying to get this money. Yeah, right?
All he wants is that money.
So the kids show up on the shore, and this is what they look like.
Yeah. Well, they're sleeping in a boat, and that lady who's the goat, she wakes them up, and she's like, "Hey, wake up, get up."
And she says, I'm going to cut a switch.
Yeah, which is like a reed. She takes a reed. She fucking whips him out of the boat.
Whip on my ass.
He's like, don't hurt us. She's like, I'm not going to hurt you. You just need to take a bath. You guys fucking stink.
So she's basically like...
She didn't swear, obviously.
She's a badass owner of like an orphanage.
Like, kind of like a foster parent.
Actually, she didn't even ask those kids where they came from.
No,
she just was like, you live with me now?
Yeah, I'm going to take care of you. Like, come here. Like, you guys need to take a bath. You guys stink. And she has, like, some other kids that, like, she's taking care of. And
she's like she's
just
kindly,
like she's
but
like
stern.
hard. She's stern, but like a really nice foster parent. Like, so one thing that really solidified to me, like, what made her super fucking goat was the oldest child that she's taking care of, Ruby, I think her name is. She's probably got to be around 16 or so. And, you know, she's interested in boys. So every Thursday night, she's supposed to be taking sewing classes in town. But really what she's doing is she's going to the drugstore and talking to the young boys that are there. That's Ruby. And so one Thursday, she's in town.
This is Ruby.
And the fucking Reverend shows up. And he's like, hey...
This is the part.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, will you buy me an ice cream and this magazine? And he's like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, so are these two kids living at your place? And she's like, yeah.
And then he just like, okay, bye.
Yeah. And then she like got really immediately fucking weirded out by him. And so then she went home and she's like, oh my God, I've been a terrible human being because I've been spending time with boys. So then she goes to this old lady and she's like, I'm so bad. I've been spending time with boys.
This scene.
Yeah, this is the scene.
How am I finding the pictures? It's perfect.
And very surprisingly, this lady's reaction is she's non-judgmental whatsoever. She's just like, you were looking for love the only way you know how. And I was just like...
Hug. And it was like, that advice, like this woman...
It was such a good moment.
Virtually and realistically doesn't know how it's going to turn into Tinder, but the advice is still applicable. I
was just so impressed with that because, like, for this being from 1955 and this being like, you know, a kind of stern foster parent lady, that was such a loving, like, response to like that girl. So yeah, she doesn't take kindly this goat lady. She don't take kindly to.
She says, "You don't trust somebody who comes up flabbing about Jesus
and shit.
You always, because in the first place when he shows up, they're just like, oh, he's a preacher.
Oh, because he has the love-hate, and he does this, like, speech about love overcoming hate.
Let me tell you the story. Cain was full of hate and love, and it's fucking stupid. And they're all like, that was so beautiful. But either way, he finds the house where the kids are, and he goes, let me see my children. And Pearl's
like, hi, Daddy.
And then the boy's like, he's not my dad. Yeah. And she goes, he's not a preacher either.
Yeah.
Wait here. And then she comes out, get off my fucking porch.
Yeah.
Without saying fuck, because it's.
And then he's like, I'll be back at nighttime.
I'll be back at night. Yeah. And then he just like horse rides away. And it's like, you're going to stay there? He's going to come back and you're just going to stay? But so he comes back at night, and they're all sleeping somehow, except for her.
And she's sitting there on the porch, like dark silhouette of her with like this fucking rifle sitting there waiting for him.
And
you guys, this movie is so good.
It's actually quite suspenseful.
Yeah.
For being. Oh yeah, here's actually the. Man, did they just take a screenshot of every scene in the movie to like? This was working out quite well. So. It's a website, I guess.
Yeah.
It's a website. This is the scene. She's sitting there in the dark trying to be suspicious. Fucking dummy comes up with a candle. And then he's sitting out there singing this song, leaning? Something about Jesus?
Yeah. Leaning on the everlasting arms.
Leaning on Jesus.
Leaning.
So,
leaning on the everlasting. That one, that one.
So,
it's creepy AF. It's so good. Oh my God.
We will say though that the money was in Pearl's doll the whole time.
Yeah.
And I honestly, she's pain in the ass. I was joking that this is the prelude.
Oh, that's such a good.
This one?
Yeah.
When they're hiding in the loft.
So yeah, that's like the preacher kind of following them on the horse. They pulled into this like old barn to sleep for the night, and like they see this in the distance, and the little boy's just like, does he like never sleep? Oh, and that's
her underwater.
Yeah. Oh, there's a better.
The crazy thing about watching old movies like this is you know that they legitimately sunk a vehicle into a lake to film it. Actually, we don't know that for sure. We thought it was probably a giant scene because the water.
Oh, it was way too clear. It was for sure
clear.
A set. Absolutely, it was for sure a set.
There's something about her face.
Oh, this is a GIF.
Yeah, something about her face. I don't know what it is. It's like.
But you guys, if normally I'm not super stoked about like old movies, but this one was really good.
Yeah, and it's interesting to find out just how many things people drew inspiration from. Here's my thing. I've watched a lot of horror movies and stuff like that. And if I watched a trailer or read a synopsis for a 2023 movie that said, basically serial killer befriends.
Let me just read the actual synopsis for this movie, and then you tell me what you think what this would be like.
Yeah. So that we were talking about that Hays Code back the other day.
Reverend Harry Powell is a religious fanatic and serial killer who targets women who use their sexuality to attract men. Serving time in prison for car theft, he meets condemned murderer Ben Harper, who confesses to hiding $10,000 in stolen loot. Released from jail, Powell is obsessed with finding the money, and he tracks down Harper's widow, Willa, and her 2 children, John and Pearl. Like, if that were released today, it would be, like, super fucked up.
Yeah, and so if you asked me to watch it, like, I've watched some movie. I've gotten to an age now where I'll close my eyes. I'll look away. I don't get to choose what my brain remembers, and I don't want it to remember the gruesome scenes from, like, Saw.
Yeah.
But in this movie, you didn't have to be worried what they were going to show, because they couldn't show really terrible
certain things. Yeah.
They showed someone dead.
Yeah.
But they didn't
only
show
see her, like, from her the feet down.
Yeah.
Or like mid calf down. That's
but it
all
wasn't
you see.
like a 15-minute 48 stab blood everywhere scene. You know what I mean?
Like, she's murdered, and that's fine.
So like they can insinuate terrible things, but they can't go into it. So there's scenes where the children's biological parents are both dead, and they are living with their stepfather, who is a serial killer preacher who is from prison, and he's alone in the house with them, trying to get them to tell them secrets. I don't even want to let my mind think of what they would put in a movie these days.
There's the one scene where, like, the little girl is screaming, and then the mom walks up, right?
Yeah.
And so if they were to show that today, they would definitely show, like, what he's doing to that little girl that's making her
and
scream.
The little boy throws a shoe at his head, and he doesn't do anything. He's like, oh, well, we can't trust you.
Yeah.
And I was like, I feel like if that was today, it would just be something traumatizing for everybody involved. And so, I don't know.
It was a really good movie.
It's one of the reasons I like paranormal horror movies, is because it's less about the evils of man and more about existential, supernatural. I don't know. But yeah, it's good. I find myself more interested in movies like that from those eras than I am of ones in these eras.
It was really good, you guys. You're going to watch 2 movies this weekend. Watch this one, The Night of the Hunter, and The Big Lebowski.
Yeah. But the one thing it kind of leads into, so also at the very end, he gets arrested.
Yeah.
Because she shoots him, and he goes into the barn, and I don't know, he's there for like what? It seems like hours before the cops arrive and arrest him, and he just stays there.
I unfortunately was looking at my phone at that exact moment in time, and so I missed a beat in the storyline, which, like, those movies, things happen really fucking quick, so you do need to be, like, paying attention at that point, because all of a sudden he was shot, and then he was arrested by police, and they were, like, running throughout the town, and, like, there was a huge mob of angry people.
Yeah, and so I feel like there's supposed to be some kind of commentary on when he first came to town. All of these people
loved him,
buttered his biscuits, loved him to death, and now they find out he murdered 25 people and all this stuff. Yeah. They're trying to lynch mob him.
Oh yeah, the one lady, that old bitch, she's literally in front of the head of the mob holding a fucking axe. Yeah.
And it's like, this is
shit.
Your fault.
Yeah, you're the one who made him, who made that lady marry him.
So that kind of leads to like a little bit of religious fervor, right? Yeah. And Krissy was reading something.
I found this story this morning.
Yeah.
And I was like, strange.
Do you want to?
So basically, I'll just read this.
Or do you want to read the Reddit thing? Pop over here for a second.
So, my parents are American evangelicals who believe in the rapture so hard they never saved for retirement. So what happens when Dad, who is now in his mid-70s and cannot work because he is in poor health and related to bad life choices, and Mom, who is a dutiful wife, never worked outside the home, can't pay for their food? Up until the last few years, my parents made 6 figures with almost no overhead, and yet they decided to bury it all in the lifestyle with little to show for it. Dad was so proud that he had such faith that he would be raptured and never need to worry about retirement. And now his wife is going to likely be out in the cold. Why his wife and not him? My brother lives in their basement, but that is the reason the rest of us stay away, since his wife divorced him and took their 7 kids after he was caught trying to cheat on her with a 14-year-old girl who turned out to be 4 guys with cameras. I'm so glad I left their religion 20 years ago.
And
what the fuck?
It's interesting because first of all, I don't know. I assume that they're probably thinking their kids will take care of them.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently their son is Josh Duggar.
Well, I mean, I was raised in evangelical Pentecostal Christianity. So I remember there was a time when I was a child that I believed that the rapture would happen. That us Christians would be like, basically like, I don't know, like ascend into heaven. I don't know.
Ascend.
Yeah, like crazy fucking shit, and it's so man, like it's just like this thought pattern to me is really sad.
Yeah,
very sad.
Where basically it's like most people will be left here to be doomed, and I'm so good, I'm going to be whisked away.
Yeah, well, everyone else will be left here on Earth to like fucking. I'll watch them burn from heaven. The fucking hellfire will get their souls.
Yeah, it's just the problem is when you think that way, when you think with a and I mean we all kind of have it a little bit, that pessimistic. Like, Apophis asteroid's going to hit Earth, so c'est la vie. But you can't live life assuming that's going to happen. No. And if you did, why you think that they'd be like, okay, well, we're going to get raptured. Let's make sure we get raptured and give a bunch of money away.
It's also very egotistical to think that, like, God's clock works on your timeline. You know?
Yeah, like... A lot of religious peoples are the first ones to put limitations on God.
Like that young earth creationist shit.
Yeah, like, or that one quote where it's like, I think you told me it or something. Could God make a door he couldn't open?
That's a huge theological debate, because I know, in seminary schools. If he can, and stuff like that.
Then he's not omnipotent because he can't open the door. But if he can't, then he's not omnipotent because he can't.
Yeah.
So it's
also like, why would God do that?
Yeah. So it's kind of, I don't know. I find it interesting because I've said with this horrible stuff happening in Israel, there's unfortunately a lot of doomsday prophecies and rapture prophecies that have to deal with this situation, and it's. The stuff that we see online, like we watch a lot of Hassan and all that.
Don't you know that God works in mysterious ways?
Yeah, we watch a lot of Hassan Piker and like H3 and
Don't
stuff.
Question
and
God's plan.
You know, they talk about the Zionism that goes on and all the stuff, and it's so nuts.
Yeah. It's weird stuff. Weird stuff, you guys.
So what we thought is, we would just go over some of the non-so sad stuff. Like, for instance, it's 2023. And things like this are still a problem. And I wanted to bring it up so that you guys and gals and pals are aware of it. Because there's been a new update to the iPhone. And this man is in trouble. This man is in some serious trouble, and he took to Reddit to find out what he needs to do. So after the update, what happened is, I'll just read you what he posted. It's called "Help Making This Go Away." And he wrote, "So I watched a type of video on my phone a few days ago. It is no longer open in any web browser. It's not saved on my phone, yet every now and then when my Bluetooth connects, this shit pops up on my home screen. Any idea why it's doing that?" And so what happens, this guy watched a porn video, and I'll tell you, I did go to the Reddit and unblurred it, because this guy's comment made me do it. It says, "This is the best post I've seen in like 7 years. The real question is, why you like hairy ass?" So the thing is, like the fucking name of the video is like doggy style hairy. And so I just remember when Facebook first came out and people thought it was like a search engine.
Yeah.
And like old dudes were typing in like big butts, big naked titties, and people are like, "You're not on Google."
But it would also like put everything like as is. So like Krissy is, and then it would like put your like what you typed.
But then there's a bunch of people that are like, "Bro, reboot the phone, disconnect it." And then there's trolls that are like, "Throw it in the ocean, play a different video," or something like that. But it was just, it's never gonna stop, and I'm scared that we are gonna be those people in the future.
Oh yeah,
where we're like, "Oh, it's not a problem, right?"
My mom sending us a screenshot of an email that she got the other day, and it's like, "Mom, there's emojis in like."
Yeah, you are in great danger. Emoji. We're like, delete this.
We're like, that's bullshit. Ignore it.
I need to use the washroom.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Jason says, "I love how Christians say that God must be testing them if something bad happens, but they give God all the praise whenever something they see as good happens to them." Yeah. It's like, I remember reading this one story where like this person's house burnt down and they died in it, but somehow like the Bible in the house like didn't burn, and they're like, "Praise be to God, look at this." Did they keep that Bible? I don't know if they did. That's devil shit. But they're like, "Praise be to God, look at this miracle, the Bible survived." And it's like, yeah, but people died in a fucking house fire. Like, oh my God. Glad I stopped using an iPhone 10 years ago. Do you use a flip phone, Jordan? I use a Xiaomi, I think. I don't know. It's Evan's old phone. No, it's a Huawei. It's a good phone. It's fine. I enjoy it. Evan's going pee outside. But because we were talking about like Minge just a second earlier, it reminded me of something that Android. Okay. Something I read the other day that I guess on the Alien box series that Ridley Scott. So there's one scene where Sigourney Weaver, she's like wearing, must be nice to have a giant dong. She's wearing the underwear and a tank top. And I guess she refused to shave her minge for that scene. So I guess in 1979 they had to like pay some dude like $5,000 to like frame by frame airbrush out her minge hair. And I think that's pretty funny. I think they should have just kept it in.
Nothing like going outside in 0-degree weather to...
Jason says, "Must be nice to have a giant dong. You can pee outside when it's freezing." It's about freezing today, Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Yeah.
Only... I don't know what it is. So this TMI, potentially. I, as a male, sometimes have... I mean, it's part of my nerve damage and stuff like that, where... I can't relax myself to pee. So like if I'm at like a bunch of urinals, or if you live in a heathen area like we do, and the only CFL football stadium has a giant trough for everyone to piss in, sometimes you're like, I'm going to use this stall. But something about standing outside, maybe it's like looking at birds or like being distracted. No problem.
There's a name for that. Isn't it shy bladder?
Yeah, it's kind of like I'd imagine something like that white coat syndrome, where they say like as soon as you see a doctor, all of your things change. Kind of like Schrodinger's cat.
I know anytime I've had to give like a pee sample, it's like I immediately can't piss.
Oh yeah, I've said
like shrivel up. You're like, nope, that's not coming out.
When I was in a safety sensitive position, I said to my boss, if you needed a piss sample and you needed someone to watch me piss, I would probably pass out before it would happen.
Yeah.
I can't just like make myself piss.
Well, yeah. I also, as a lady, have a hard time peeing when there's someone else in the room sometimes. And like we have stall dividers.
That's where we live. I don't know about you guys. It's like we just allowed businesses to go, no, you don't need to put a divider. It's like, yeah, okay. Sure. We're not staring at each other's ding dongs, but like, why is this normal?
The worst bathroom I've ever been in was like...
This is in ancient Rome.
In Los Angeles, down by the beach. I remember going there with my mom when I was like 10 years old. And the bathrooms, like at least in the ladies' bathrooms, they had like walls beside each other, but like no front door. So like people could walk past and they would see you sitting there. And it was to prevent people from doing drugs in the bathroom. But
yeah, they have those lights too.
Yeah, I know they have those in 7-Eleven where you can't hide your veins. But like I remember just being 10 years old and so fucking insecure and trying to go piss in this toilet where like strangers can see me pee. I didn't like it. I was not okay with that situation.
My cousin went to a couple places in Asia and he said he had a really hard time with the squatting toilets. Because it's like a big room and you just kind of like shit in a hole.
I couldn't, that would
the trough thing is in all the schools. Jesus Christ. Tennessee piss trough? Is that like your guys' like state mascot? Now be saying that, I think Ohio just moved above Tennessee.
Yeah,
they've at least been voting properly.
Congratulations, Ohio, on making good choices.
Ohio!
Ohio!
First thing I hear is strangers can see me pee. Mr. Levity is coming with the silly hat, man. We got the man flopping his British sausage, and the other man who's the silliest Willie. So, for a nation very concerned about their children not being homosexual, I'm surprised you just have giant troughs.
No, it's because they want to make sure all the boys in the boys' bathroom are whipping out their dicks.
That's true.
That's the reason behind it.
People in power love dicks.
Yeah.
We just got distracted talking about how for some reason outside in nature it's just so much easier to pee. I don't know what it is.
For you anyways, not for me.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't like peeing outside.
Well, I mean, it just makes sense. There's certain things that are easier to do inside and outside. I thought this would be fun because we've covered all sorts of bear activities around here. This is a video of a cute little bear stealing some Taco Bell. So apparently, you just get your stuff delivered, right? Drop it off.
At least like, what'd
God,
you do?
Fuck, I tried to make it full
Why did you have
screen.
to click on it in the middle of the thing?
Because I have brain problems.
I know you do. I love you though.
That's so, honestly, we've seen so many videos lately of bears.
Oh yeah.
Just no fucks given, but very gentle.
Yeah.
Remember that one that went into the gas station and took a pack of gummy bears? Just like...
Oh yeah, he just gently took the gummy
gently
bears
with his teeth, like...
It was very
grips
cute.
the edge of the package and walks out.
Like, these ones, please. Thank you.
Do they come out and like...
El oso se llevó la comida.
Can you imagine? Because the way the person who delivered it took a picture to be like orders on the step, and they come out and they're like, "What the fuck?" And they probably immediately got back on the phone. You fucked me up, or you didn't deliver my food, right?
Oh, silly! It said, "Did I tell you about the grizzly that came on our property a couple of weeks ago?" No, you did not.
They're like, "What the fuck? Where's my food?"
I wish I could understand what they were saying.
Translate.
Yeah, does
Jordan.
anybody speak Spanish?
Jordan, translate. I don't know if I still am in it. Silly. I guess, I mean, they're speaking another language. I just thought it was funny
Spanish, yeah.
to watch them. Basically, they came in Fox News. Man, news is getting... It's covering the entire frozen frog in their spinach? Okay. Enough of that.
Philip asked how goes the shoveling. We finished it yesterday. There was a lot of snow.
I'll post it to yours, no problem.
Thanks,
Silly.
A lot of snow to move.
Are they saying hello? Have you met my pencil? You're not allowed to just meet people with your pencil, Scon.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad.
Let's see what Silly's got going on. I just found a couple of articles here that I thought we'd go, just chit chat.
It is in the Discord.
Okay, I'm loading it up here. If we freeze for a minute, it's because I opened another tab. Just kidding. I've been doing all the things wrong, apparently. That's impossible. Oh my god. I could get nitro? Oh, wow. Boop. Oh, yeah, it's fine. Oh, no, we're blocking it for them.
That's a big bear.
I'm going to move us up.
He's a big boy.
He's a big bear. That's a Grizz right there. Grizzly Adams, I tell ya. I don't think the camera goes left anymore, Silly. Could you hear that sound?
Yeah. You know what I find very interesting about bears? So when they go to hibernate for the winter,
You got lost snow, Silly.
they make a anal plug. Like they eat food, very fibrous foods that really bung them up and give them an old plug. And then they don't have to shit all winter. And then but then they do have to shit that out come springtime.
I mean, as we all do, you know. Nature. Nature can be beautiful, but it can also
Fun fact about bears.
Bears only like honey, just like Mr. Levy said. Also, picnic baskets.
We talking butt plugs?
We're talking about picnic baskets? We talking butt plugs? No, what we're actually talking about here is something that will ruin your day. All of your days. Because I don't know if you know who Machine Gun Kelly is. He's famous for basically starting a feud with Eminem and then being like basically absolutely eviscerated by Eminem. Apparently there is a live action Legend of Zelda movie in the works.
Yeah.
And he has come out and said, if I don't play Link, there's gonna be a problem. And honestly, there is nobody I could possibly want less to play Link than Machine Gun Kelly. Just because, I mean, we don't listen to a lot of his shit or whatever. There was, during that whole Eminem feud thing, is when I had heard some of his stuff. But he's married to Megan Fox, right?
I don't even, are they married or just engaged? I think they're just engaged.
This said,
his fiance.
Oh, his fiance. And they do weird shit, like they drink
each other's blood.
Drink each other's blood and fucked up shit. And he's, well, I mean, look at this. This is a totally different article, but like, Machine Gun Kelly punches fan because they asked. Like, he has a...
Yeah, he's a tool. Like what Silly Hat said. He's a tool.
He's a huge tool. But the other thing is like, I'm pretty sure he's over 6 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure Link is not very tall.
Link, he came to town. He came to save the Princess Zelda.
I should have that playing in the background. So this one?
I think it's,
So it got me thinking, who would play Link? You know what I mean? Is Link Hobbit sized, like Frodo sized, or is Link is he like Napoleon, like 5'5"? But I thought he was short. Yeah, he's 5 feet. So Chris Pratt.
Link, came to town. Come to save the Princess Zelda.
I'm sure you guys know this, but so you know who could play Link? The kid who plays Batman. That
Robert Pattinson?
No, not Batman. Sorry, Spider-Man.
Oh,
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Tom Holland could play.
Yeah, I also downloaded this on LimeWire back in the day.
LimeWire, holy, not Napster or Kazaa or Kazaa, depending on who you were. And then FrostWire.
I had LimeWire and Kazaa at some point. This sounds great.
Tom Holland would, yes, but y'all are forgetting Link doesn't speak. That's true. All Link does is go,
Link.
Those are my Link sounds. Tom Holland. Is it rude to say Tom Holland just because he's a short white guy with blondish hair?
You could dye it more blonde too. Maybe Timothy Chalamet with blonde hair.
I mean, Timothy Chalamet, when I see him, the only thing I think to myself is he must get really cold.
Yeah.
Because he's got zero body fat. Absolutely zero.
He is a very
He's like bones
man.
and tendons. But yeah, I seen that earlier. I mean, obviously it's not huge, and it's probably not going to happen because nobody likes him.
No, he's not going to get cast as Link. There's no way in hell.
So, the hubris is what I thought, because like live action, it's not like they're not going to hit lightning in a bottle twice with like Bob Hoskins as Mario.
Philip asked, how do I deal with your sex noises? I simply ask him, don't ever make that sound again.
This is we only do ooh woos. But yeah, Machine Gun Dinkleface. If I could hear Let me in your body. If I could hear the first line of that one Eminem diss song, I could rap the whole thing, but we won't go there. Because Link, he came to town. This is just a little, little throwaway article. Not throwaway, but so I don't know if you guys have seen much about this Dan Clancy. He's the new Twitch CEO.
Everyone's doing the fucking double stream thing now.
Yeah, because they're allowed. Twitch allowed multi-streaming, which they had previously forbade. Which is interesting. The only thing I assume is that they purchased like Restream.io or something to like funnel more money that way or something. But he's been, going on like, the Twitch con and all that stuff, and everybody likes him. He's a pretty down to earth guy, I guess. Making some decent decisions, and he apparently streams on the platform. And he was denied his Twitch partnership in October 21st because he didn't have enough people watching. But now he has thusly made a partner, and apparently he made a song about it. Not that we're going to listen to the song. The thing that bothers me, I shouldn't say bothers because it doesn't. This man is a CEO. This man is probably making like a 7-figure salary, and most of his day is streaming on Twitch because he wants to have like play games and stuff like that. And it's just kind of like, as much as it's like, everybody likes to see the boss working with the average people, but it's not the same thing.
It's kind of taking, you could argue that it's taking away opportunity from other streamers because he's taking up that space. But at the same time, like,
it's good for him to be involved and know what works and what doesn't work.
I would say at the same time, I would have zero interest in watching his stream.
Like, Twitch partner criteria isn't easy. It's not just having X amount of people concurrently. It has to do with, like, 12 unique broadcasts, 25 hours a month and stuff like that. Why? It just seems weird he's got time to, because you have to maintain that for so long before you can get it.
But this also begs the question, how much work does a CEO do?
It's true, right? That's kind of what my brain did. It's like,
yeah, either way, he's using his position to accelerate his streaming career.
That's true. What if he gets replaced next year? And he's kind of just setting up a background. But there's interesting things about, he was trying to set up like he emailed Elon Musk about Starlink not working well with Twitch.
And basically Elon was like, oh, too bad.
Like a day after Elon Musk was like, yeah, we're going to do streaming on Twitch. I was like, or on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck makes you think he's going to help Starlink on Twitch then, you dumb idiot? Not sure if I'll let you view my Facebook post, but do you want to see Ollie eating a giant bacon bubble? And yes.
Yeah.
What is a bacon bubble?
I don't know what a bacon bubble is, but that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it sounds.
I made a big thing of bacon yesterday. We didn't eat it all because I baked up or cooked up a big package of bacon. We could use it on the twice baked potatoes that I made, and then have some leftover bacon bits.
Yeah,
they were really good potatoes, but I made too many.
We couldn't finish them all. They were just so luscious.
Yeah. It's in the Discord.
It's in the Discord. Well, you know what? Before we go to the Discord, this is just weird. I didn't know about it. I just was wondering if you guys knew anything about it. So, you put baking soda in the fridge and it's supposed to like absorb smells and stuff and keep your fridge fresh. Apparently, you can do that with toilet paper. And I had never heard of that.
So does it absorb the smell of the fridge, or when I wipe my ass with it cold, it absorbs the smell from my ass?
I think you're supposed to wipe your ass and put that in the fridge. I'm just kidding. So apparently putting toilet paper in the fridge is a trick that the hotel industry uses to absorb bad odors.
But have you ever thought that you can do other things with toilet paper? In this video, I'm going to show you 6 incredible tricks with toilet paper.
Okay, we're not going to watch this. But the one thing you can do with it is wipe your ass. The other thing you can do with it is blow your nose. Krissy, I was told women don't do poos. I've been horribly misled.
Oh, yeah.
You need to live in a smaller house if that's the case, Mr. Levity. Let's see. Oh, did I close this?
So, no, I'm really confused, though. Are they using it to absorb odors from the fridge?
Toilet rolls are put in the fridge, and you can also do this.
It's just absorbing.
It absorbs unpleasant odors.
Yeah, it's to make the fridge not smell bad. I'm sorry, I would rather use my toilet paper as toilet paper and put baking soda in the fridge.
I honestly, when I first seen the tagline about putting it in the freezer, I was thinking it was to have a cool sensation.
Yeah.
When wiping.
That's what I initially thought that was going to be about.
When wiping your arse.
A really weird turn.
Right?
To absorb the odors in my fridge, I'm going to put a fucking roll of toilet paper in there? No.
No.
It's a waste of toilet paper.
Absolutely tired of this shit.
Yeah, you use the absorb rolls to wipe yourself afterwards? Ugh. Because there would be like bacteria and stuff in it that I would have absorbed.
Ooh, nasty. Do they then use the toilet paper rolls? We use pine cones and sandpaper specifically.
Oh.
Where are we here? What do we got? Fleep.
Oh yeah, it's meme day.
Oops.
We need to look at the memes.
Oops. Not sure if this works. Ollie looks so cute.
Oh, and we also need to talk about like one of our title things.
Yeah, there's a couple things.
Yes.
Here, I think this is a good view. Ollie looks so vicious when he's playing with bacon bubbles.
How do you make a bacon bubble? Oh.
He did go from cute to scary very quickly. Ah! It's almost mesmerizing. He's so cute. And then he's like, I was watching a video of cats knocking over dominoes. It was pretty awesome.
We talking about Vivek Ramaswamy.
Oh yeah. We got a couple things. Bubbles flavored like bacon. There's not a whole lot of gifts.
Yeah.
There's only just a couple things.
This was another thing that was in the news that we just found
Ridiculous.
a little bit funny.
It's absolutely. It's in a day in what's happening in the world to even have this proposed is preposterous.
The fact that this is his concern is like, oh, okay.
Vivek Ramaswamy wants to build a border wall across Canada and the U.S. as well as the Mexico one.
To prevent fentanyl trafficking.
Yes, and I mean, I can hardly say Canada doesn't have
There's definitely
the Hells
fentanyl
Angels
issues.
And, you know, the same stuff that goes on in the States.
But I'll tell you, we are not your problem.
It is the longest border in the world.
Yeah.
And if they think that we're going to pay for it?
Look at that family that died trying to illegally cross it last year in the middle of winter.
Yeah, like...
You're not going to have a lot of success crossing this border in the middle of winter. So a wall don't fucking matter.
Yeah, like, so if people are... if it depends on like how is it good by boat. He said it was in his article. He says, I'm the only one who traveled. I'm the only candidate on this stage, as far as I'm aware, who actually visited the northern border.
Yeah.
And he talks about how basically there was enough fentanyl to kill a bunch. This pissed me off too. So we've got to skate to where the puck is going and not just where the puck is. You don't throw hockey lingo at Canadians, you fucking fuck.
You as an American Republican politician, do not have the right.
We'll tell you where the puck's going.
Make hockey references. That is cultural appropriation, Vivek Ramaswamy.
That's it. We're sending the geese.
That's right.
We are sending the geese. So yeah, he's saying that they're coming in through the borders, right? The borders are attached to major highways. The problem is if you prevent them from going down those major highways, there is so much open space in like every western state that connects to like Saskatchewan and Alberta. I worked down by this border and like
There's nothing.
You wouldn't even be able to build a wall across this, and this would only keep 1 million people out.
Yeah.
And all of this is like, there's like nothing in this Montana, North Dakota bullshit.
And also, there ain't no way that like you're gonna ask Canada to pay for it.
Well, we can't. We
That's
definitely
not
can't
gonna
afford it.
happen.
How about this one, Vivek Ramaswamy? There is a school.
Yeah.
There is a school that has to travel through British Columbia to get to its United States school and then back again. How do you propose this one works, sir? Ass face. But like, why? If you think the reason fentanyl's a problem is because you are making it so people don't care about living.
Yeah.
So they go, this might have fentanyl, but it might get me through the day.
Yeah, it'll make me feel better than I currently feel. Fuck this shit.
Like, it's this so strange to even... It's like because they're all polling so far behind Donald Trump and he doesn't even show up to the debates, they're like, well, let's just say some of the shit he said. And it's got to work, right? I don't know how Donald Trump managed to... I don't know how he's
the front runner for the Republican Party still.
Yeah, and like, how do you... I don't know. I just don't see how you possibly could build a border, like a wall. Look at this bullshit right here. Where the fuck are you going to put the wall?
Oh, but speaking of politicians who normally say stupid shit, but oh my God, one said something that I'm like, yay, that wasn't so dumb, is Scott Moe said at least he disagrees with Danielle Smith about pulling out a CPP.
Yes. Saskatchewan will not be leaving the Canadian pension program, thank God.
Fucking God.
But like... Look at this border. This is the Mexico border.
That's a much different border than the border with Canada.
This is the Canadian border.
Ours is at least twice as long.
Oh my God.
At least twice as long.
Good fucking luck. Good fucking luck. And the other thing is like, the United States barely considers these northern states part of the United States. There was a joke petition, like, I don't know if you remember this, several years ago, where they were offering to sell Montana to Canada because it's pretty much Canada anyways. And it was a joke, but it got like hundreds of thousands.
I thought
it
was that little bit in Minnesota. You see how in Minnesota there's that weird little
I thought it was Montana.
That goes up into Ontario?
Sell Montana to Canada. I'm pretty sure this was just a joke. Yeah, petition.
Yeah. But I think also that little blip in Minnesota.
In 2019, there was this joke petition on change.org to sell to Canada for $1 trillion. So I just, it's fucking dumb.
You see in Minnesota?
Oh
no, it's fine.
Sorry.
No, it's no worries.
But yeah, so we had seen that, the hockey stuff. You can't be doing that. We only got just a couple more we'll do some quick rifle articles, and we'll look at some of the meme skis. This is actually a story from across the pond in the Cumberland Township. Oh no, in Pennsylvania. Sorry. It was Cumberland.
What is going on with, I think it's maybe the reflection in our TV.
Oh, what?
Kevin Bacon's eyeball looks so weird.
Oh no, he's the devil. So this is a story
it's
about a missing pig named Kevin Bacon who was reunited with their owners with help from the Kevin Bacon. I mean, come on now. So what had happened is this pig, Kevin Bacon, he escaped. He went on a little jaunt and they couldn't find him. They didn't know what was going to help. So they set up, on their Facebook and stuff like that. And on the news, they did like we're trying to bring Kevin Bacon home. So that's what the Facebook group was called, Bring Kevin Bacon Home. And then after hearing of it, Kevin Bacon went and he shared it as well on his Threads page saying, bring Kevin Bacon home. And by doing that, they found him, but they had to, after multiple failed attempts of using humane traps and food trails, they dosed a sticky bun with Pet Safe Benadryl and then fucking hauled Kevin Bacon back to his sty. I just thought it was, so what's happening now is because they got so much, coverage, they were saying that they actually have plans to start an open to the public farm. Aww. And so they've kind of started like a GoFundMe thing to help buy heaters or $2,500 to get fencing with a much larger area for Kevin. Some heaters.
Just changed to Kevin's Home Adventures. That's so funny.
Yeah. So I just thought that was kind of a funny little.
Reminds me of that movie. What was it? Homebound or whatever with the two dogs and the cat.
Homeward Bound?
Homeward Bound.
Yeah,
that was
that's
it.
a good one.
I fucking love that movie.
Not everything. What did I say? Not everything.
I don't know.
I was gonna try and like transition into it, but no.
I think you lost the plot.
I lost the plot. Let's go with this insanity from Australia.
Yeah, it's pretty insane.
Like people were really into Top Gun.
I've not seen any of the Top Guns.
I don't give a shit. I don't care about. I don't like war movies.
I don't like Tom Cruise.
I don't like plane movies. And Tom Cruise kick.
Yeah.
But this Australian police officer, him and his partner, pretty serious about it. So apparently one of them in Sydney, Australia, an officer pled guilty to carrying a firearm with disregard because when his co-worker said that he was going to spoil the ending for the movie, he pulled out his gun and said, "I will shoot you." And while he was pointing at him, and he had his finger
On the trigger.
On the trigger!
Oh, no, the finger was on the receiver, not the trigger, his lawyer described.
But...
Still, though.
They was described as a case of skylarking and tomfoolery. You can use that in a court these days still to say those words?
Well, it was just a gif and a gaff. It was a la. It's just jokes, you guys. It's just a joke. Ha, ha, ha. No.
Yeah, like, so this, he got 100 hours of community service and a recorded conviction on his record. But, like... I can't think of a movie that I can't think of a single thing if someone offered to spoil it to me, I would pull out a gun.
No, I like spoilers.
Even as a joke.
I like spoilers.
It's just, I guess, the oddity of it is that he went for his gun. You know, like it shouldn't, we didn't even know cops in Australia had guns for some reason. Yeah. I thought they had boomerangs.
I know they don't have guns in New Zealand. I just thought because guns had been outlawed in Australia after there was like that big shooting in the
Oh 90s? Yeah, it was the biggest one.
Or was it
at
90s
that time.
Or 80s or something like that?
Yeah, a port.
Yeah, so somebody went and did like a mass shooting, and it's way too extreme of a joke. Like that's not a joke at all. That's not funny.
The only joke is this title. O.J. Simpson tells Donald Trump to shut up about his indictment, and that cannot help him. I mean, I'm not going to delve into the whole thing about Trump and his different indictments and stuff like that, but like, hey to the world, yours truly here. Fucking O.J. Simpson's giving you advice on your fucking criminal defense. It's just to the ex-president of the United States of America. Like, if there is an Apophis asteroid coming, that's fine. You know, it's time. We've come too far.
Just going back to work environments feeling unsafe. Maybe less extreme than pulling a gun on your coworker, but I guess recently in Saskatoon, a woman working for the city was fired because she kept referring to like the subordinates as my humans. And she's like, I shouldn't be. So they had a memo that she was supposed to sign. And she's like, I refuse to stop referring to human beings as humans. And while I can understand her argument, I also can't help but feel that if my boss referred to me and my coworkers as my humans, I would not fucking be okay with that. No. At all. I would be real fucking pissed.
That's a weird power dynamic. Like when they say, no, we're a family here.
Yeah, these are my humans. No, I'm not your human.
I'm not your...
Like, you can get fucked. I am somebody who works here and you tell me what to do. I'm not your human.
Yeah, not your human. Speaking of humans, some of them have peanut allergies.
It's true.
Oddly enough, it's like the most dangerous thing on the planet to most people is peanuts. But I seen this article.
Weeds out the week. I'm just kidding.
Death is weakness leaving the body.
Literally, I guess.
There's been a special toothpaste developed to help end severe allergic reactions. So apparently, they've treated it by introducing peanuts to people in very small periods over time to get their body exposed to it or whatever. But so this toothpaste would contain a bit of that.
Sorry, I was just reading what Philip wrote.
I hate that. When the previous guy, his son used to call us mummy's work people because oh God, then I bought it. Fucking people.
I know, right?
But yeah, this is they'll incorporate small amounts of peanut allergens into this toothpaste. So by doing it over and over and over and over and over, you might build up a mechanism for that peanut protein in your body.
Developing a...
Because the interesting thing about it, I thought, is I had always heard the joke that kids were allergic to things because they weren't introduced to them as children. And I was like, well, that can't always be the case. But it turns out for several things, it kind of is the case.
I knew a kid in elementary and high school who was allergic to milk, and subsequently his nickname became Milk. As it does. Yeah.
But it's kind of apparently they out of 32 people, it's they're testing it out, see how it works. They noted 100% of those being treated with the toothpaste consistently tolerated the pre-specified highest dose.
Interesting.
I mean, it's something.
Yeah.
It's kind of a little less creepy than the other one I found, which is that they developed a pacemaker that recharges its battery using the electricity created from a heartbeat. And it kind of just made me think. So, although only a beat generated 10% of the energy needed for required, they're convincing people to add another one.
Question. Is that so? By the battery taking energy from the heartbeat, is it somehow taking away energy that the body needs?
So that's what I don't know. Okay. And that's what it makes me think is like,
I don't know how this shit works. So
yeah, like, cyborgs.
I don't know. I'm like,
oh
curious.
Yeah, absolutely. Cyborgs, is like a movie trope or video game trope type thing, right? Yeah. But this is literally like cybernetics, right? Using the electricity created from your heart beating to recharge the battery. So it has to do with, harvesting efficiency and stuff. But when I started, my brain just kind of ran with it a little bit. And like you said, how much of that electricity can you take without interfering with stuff?
Like systems or whatever. Especially because I'm pretty sure, like, the amount of electricity the body produces is like less electricity than a light bulb requires.
Yeah, and
so I don't know, like, it's not a lot of energy.
Yeah, and so if they decide it needs to be more powerful, do you get like a DeWalt charging port on your back and like slap in a battery?
Plug in at nighttime?
I think we're moving a little fast here. We watched something where, the tech bro weirdos are talking about living to 300 years old.
Why would you want to live till 300?
If you live to 300, you'll work till you're 280. Don't.
Yeah.
People think if they're given more time, they will do more with it. That is not true. Humans never do. Yeah. The reason that life is supposed to be special is, unfortunately, it is a finite resource. Because we know as genetically modified monkey sacks that I don't remember where I was going, but I just think
you're born,
we're fucking around a little too
die,
much.
You meet, you mate, goodbye.
We were watching the a lot of stuff about the new Mr. Beast cancellation for drilling 100 wells in Africa. He wasn't actually canceled. I think it's just people being people, but it's that thing. I think
it's more to get buzz around it. Like, I'm gonna get canceled for this.
And it's that a lot of people have a problem with like the white savior aspect of it. And someone from America having to come and build wells for Kenyans and stuff like that. And, he's not setting up infrastructure. He's putting it blah, 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 blah. People do currently have water. We'll leave it at that. There could be better ways to go about it, worse ways to go about it. Whatever. But
I don't know what you're going to say.
Where was I going to go?
I don't know. I have no idea where you're going to go. I cannot, unfortunately, read your mind.
It has nothing to do with pacemakers, I don't think.
Did it have to do with Mr. Beast? Or memes? Are we going to look at memes now?
Oh, I remember what I was going to say.
Okay.
A lot of stuff is made to make it look as if people who live in those places have a less fruitful life than people in other countries, right? Which isn't necessarily true, right?
Yeah.
the things that give meaning to people that live in New York City are significantly different than those who live.
Basically, the idea that you need to have stuff to be fulfilled, like
or
actually, this ties really well
and
into.
amenities.
We wanted to talk a little bit about that Boogie documentary that came out.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys watched it. It's currently at 2.5 million views on YouTube. It's really well done.
Yeah, it's this new channel.
Yeah,
I'll
Mike
put the link in here.
Klum is his name. He did this documentary about Boogie 2298 or 2988, and I'll tell you what, this man is fucking pathetic.
So we didn't know much about this guy. He's got 4, like the Boogie has.
He was this Mike Klum was given like unfettered access to like his financial statements in his life for like over the course of 9 months. And Boogie is going on about how broke he is and he can't afford his house. So like this man went from making like he made $750,000 and bought like a $250,000 house in Arkansas. Didn't ever manage to fucking pay it off. He still gets paid over $3,000 a month through revenue share from YouTube, and somehow can't make that work. He needs $7,000 a month to live.
Well, he spent $200,000 on escorts.
Yeah, well, no, over the course of like since 2018, up to a certain point, he spent $200,000 on escorts.
Yes, he lost over $600,000 in crypto.
Yeah.
And he still has $30,000 he won't take out.
Let us not forget part of the reason he spent all this money on escorts is because he deserves access to LA 10 pussy.
That's what he said.
In his words, he's like, before I could like get like an Arkansas 8, but with all the money I could get like an LA 10, and I deserve that. I deserve to have sex with an LA 10, and it's like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. You deserve happiness in your life. Everyone deserves happiness. You do not deserve LA 10 pussy, Boogie.
Unless maybe a cat.
Oh my god.
Maybe 10 cats from LA.
Fuck, that really rubbed me wrong.
Yeah, he's a very self-pitying person because he's obese and he's got health problems.
There's that one like escort lady that he's looking at her page, and he's like, oh yeah, she's cute. A little bit thicker than I would normally like. And like the girl's maybe like probably like a size 14. Like she has a juicy ass. I'll give her that. And it's like, look at you fucking fat ass. You have 2 meat curtains.
That's
like,
what he said.
You literally called them fucking meat curtains.
He called them his meat curtains.
Ugh.
They interviewed one of the escorts and she said
she had rolls upon rolls.
She couldn't find his penis.
It was difficult for her to find his penis, and having sex with him is what made her leave the sex industry.
And like become a nurse and start have a family. And like everyone who heard that part was like, that's a burn. That's like I had sex with you and I realized I'm homosexual now.
Yeah, like I can't do this anymore. This is too fucking gross.
But the weird part is the documentary doesn't paint him in a good light.
No,
at the end of it, he's got a 20-year-old girlfriend who looks. I assume she was strung out. Before.
I don't want to give her that.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Violetta.
But either way, she's got some problems.
Yeah, she's 20, but she looks like she's 17.
He's 49 and morbidly obese.
She does have like a daddy issue. She straight up admitted it.
And he told her, if we're poor and destitute and have to eat McDonald's every day, are you okay with that? Yeah. And I was like, poor?
McDonald's every day is not cheap.
That would be like $100 a day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Considering he eats he'll eat 2 entrees.
Double entrees.
Yeah.
McDonald's every day is like fucking luxury.
Imagine
where
being
we're
so
at.
bad and so gross that you made a sex worker leave the industry.
Right? Violetta.
So yeah, watch this documentary. It's 55 minutes long. The only critique is I wish it was longer. It's really well done.
There was some people that because he was so reluctant to sell his collectibles and stuff like that, there was quite a few people that watched it and said that they decided to get rid of some of their shit. Oh, here, Violet, I'll post the link again for you.
It's the documentary about Boogie 2988.
About boogers.
But then also you should watch the movie The Night of the Hunter from 1955.
Can you see that pinned message? Does that work?
But yeah, it's a good documentary. There's this scene where Boogie and the 20-year-old girlfriend are making out in the tub.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That apparently it got the channel limited in its exposure because it shows like the
curve of her ass.
Curve
like
of
she's
the butt
definitely
cheek.
naked on top of him in the tub.
Yeah, and so he was on the H3 podcast and they were like, so was that weird? And he was just kind of like,
no, not really. By that point, it wasn't really weird.
Was this weird? Provided from Scone?
I loved this game so much.
So did I. I understand so little about music, but this game did help me. And the fly swatter game? You know how long this must have taken?
Oh, we watched a video of some guy talking about how you would have to stitch this shit together, and it was like, you would have to, like, it was weird uploading and video recording stuff to, like, be able to stitch stuff together to make a whole song.
My collections of N64 games, so I'm never going to sell them. What's your most valuable N64 to you? Not necessarily like, you know, monetarily, but what would you say is your most, to you, the one you love the most? The most expensive thing bounces $300 to $500 in value. Bomberman 2.
I really liked Paper Mario for the N64. Also, Pokemon Snap was a good time.
Pokemon!
Get real stoned and play yourself around to Pokemon Snap. Gotta throw shit at the Snorlax to wake him up so you can take a picture of him.
That's true. I do remember that part.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see what we got here. My collection is, of course, pro wrestling DVDs. Philip, how do you feel about Logan Paul being the new WWE champion, beating Rey Mysterio?
Oh, also in the Boogie documentary, we forgot, just because you mentioned the wrestling, he somehow managed to get signed up for a boxing match, which this man is on disability.
Yeah, he's disabled because, I mean, he's got all of the trappings that come with morbid obesity, like high blood pressure, pre-diabetes.
He's legally recognized by the state of Arkansas and like the federal U.S. government.
And he traveled to the UK for a boxing match.
Yeah. How do you fucking get away with doing that?
Conker's Bad Fur Day is a good one. I do have it. Yeah, Conker's Bad Fur. I collect yarn. It's separate hobby from crochet. Is that I rented a ton as a kid. It's my prized possession. The banjos. We don't have a lot of memes. We got the classic Mistletoad. Hang up your mistletoads. Perfect. What's that one thing that we say? Not bon appetit. Yeah, bon apple.
Bon appetit.
Yeah, bon apple teats.
Phil said he's the new United States champion, not the WWE champion. He's an incredible athlete and a great performer, and he brings eyes to the business. He also saved Ray from paralysis.
I did see that. So that's the article that I had read was, so Rey Mysterio is actually a pretty old guy. He was wrestling when I was a kid and stuff. And apparently, if he would have done the move he was supposed to do, it could have actually broke his neck. But he changed what he was supposed to do, and apparently a lot of people respect him for doing that. Which is a respectful thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I don't like is he basically cons...
Oh, yeah.
He cons a lot of... Yeah,
sure.
like, I don't know if you know all his scams with his energy drinks and crypto this and that. But he's definitely somehow found a way to secure himself.
I feel bad for his fiance that everything happened with that douchebag.
You know who I don't feel for? The United States people who want to build a wall between us and them, and we're going to send down our military geese.
These aren't going to stop coming.
They could literally be everywhere. They could be inside your house right now. Woo! That was a turkey, sorry. He's an asshole, incredible to watch. He's better 50% of the roster. Yeah, I mean, if you got not many of them transition into things that work for them outside of like YouTube and that, but he found something. Ollie hates your geese. They're everywhere. Yeah, well,
I didn't know that they went to the UK.
They're not invited back to the States either.
I didn't know that they got Canadian geese in the UK. They are assholes. Absolutely. They are fucking shitheads. 100%.
Yeah, we don't necessarily like them much either. We just stay away from them. Daddy, why do you have to go to work every day? To buy nice toys. But all my toys are shit. Mine ain't. One of my favorite ones is where a guy's talking to his son or something, and I can't remember. He's like, aim for the stars, son. He's like, I want to be an astronaut. He's like, oh yeah, you won't be an astronaut. I can't remember. He's like, I'll have to find it.
That was a great retelling of that.
No, it was bad. Either way, he calls his son a scrub. In every single park. They do leave massive dumps everywhere too.
Yeah, they do. And they hiss at you.
Oh, I seen this one and I laughed so hard. No thanks, I'm vegetarian is a fun thing to say when someone hands you a baby. I'm gonna use it. I am definitely gonna use it.
No thanks, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh my. Oh. When your grandma takes you out for your birthday and discovers you're alive. I never really thought about if these garbage cans.
So bad to puke
I've never had to puke sideways.
No, me neither.
Like that. I would have just puked on the ground.
I've always just like puked this way into a garbage can.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm more worried about getting it out of my body than usually where it ends up. I mean, that goes for lots of things. Just kidding.
I mean...
Oh, I didn't see that one. Just remember, everybody, could be your day.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Could be your day.
Oh.
Oh, Grandma says you bring shame upon the family.
Grandma. Onions looking at other vegetables and fruits that don't bother fighting back when getting cut out. I've taken pictures of Jinjee that look just like this. Pathetic. Onions, they fuck my eyes up good.
Yeah, they taste so good though. I call them num-nums.
Ooh, I am the Holy Spirit. What you're doing is a sin. Nonsense. Masturbation is healthy and natural. No, I meant strangling hookers. Oh, right, that.
How appropriate with the movie we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, it was very appropriate. That movie was something else.
It was a good movie.
I liked it. Looking into essential oils, which one is it that calms other people down? Chloroform? It's chloroform, isn't it? It's peppermint, okay? Or chloroform, I guess. We also watched this is actually Violetta. You might be interested in the controversy at the knitting convention.
Oh, yeah. So where was it in the States again?
I think it was in...
It was in some small town.
I want to say Portland because it's like a hippie town.
Yeah. Oh, no, it wasn't Portland, but...
Wool and folk.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Violetta, you'll find this interesting.
Wow.
Some shit went down.
Oh, there's so many videos.
Yeah,
we watched this one.
Yeah.
But basically these people put up there was like a big wool convention. I can't remember, somewhere in the States.
Yeah.
But like New York. But yeah, there's just this ridiculous. It was like such a... For people who typically make nice crafts and you seemingly are kind to each other, it seemed like it was a fucking shit show.
So they didn't plan. So I guess they knew for the week prior that it was, well, first off, the venue was too small. Like they expected 3,000 people and booked a 500-person venue with 25 parking spots. So people are showing up. There's nowhere to park. And then they also, they knew for a week prior that it was going to be really rainy the weekend of the venue, but didn't bother to really help set up, good tents or anything. Yeah. So there's fucking wool yarn outside in fucking rain and mud, and they put boxes down on top of mud for people to walk on.
Well,
and
those boxes were people's storage boxes.
Yeah, people's storage boxes.
The vendors brought their stuff in.
The organizers just fucking stole their boxes and broke them down and threw them on top of mud.
And it was on a hill, so disabled
apparently,
people.
It was barely even big enough for able-bodied people to get through, let alone disabled people. Like if you were in a wheelchair, you were a fucking SOL. The organizers treated the vendors like absolute fucking shit. And it just like everything that could go wrong went wrong with this like fucking knitting festival.
Oh, it's so small. Yeah, it was just kind of...
Yeah, not yarn on drain.
Well, that's what everybody said. Yeah. First of all, yarn and rain smells awful.
Yeah.
These were just a couple pictures. So people, this is a lineup of people. This is actually a video where we had seen it, and the water is draining through these tents.
Yeah.
And like, look at, this is inside their displays.
Overcrowded, and they also like lied to the vendors. They promised them certain stuff and then didn't deliver.
The people were like someone who had a cane was like, can I get a spot inside to sit because I can't stand on the slope.
Yeah,
and she said, you're an adult, figure it out.
Yeah.
And like, I guess like there's a whole bunch of things about the person who said it. They're calling it the
Fire Festival of Knitting or whatever.
Yeah.
Fiber Festival.
And I guess this people who set it up came out and they were saying like, everybody's so useless and they need everyone to hold their hands.
And so like I guess there was like a band playing and one of the organizers asked the band, where did you park? And they're like, oh, we just parked over there. And she's like, see, they're smart, they figured it out, why can't other people be like them and figure it out like them?
Also, the cops were preventing people from parking in a certain area. And the vendors had to park blocks away and haul their shit. And it was
a shit show.
Yeah, and so the only reason we really watched it is because it's like some of the other, like Burning Man, you can imagine Burning Man is a shit show. This is supposed to be a fucking yarn convention.
This is mostly like probably grannies and like people like Violetta.
Very talented. A lot of people, what they were pissed off about is they had to pay. They paid like $1,000 for a site or something, and they ended up with they were supposed to get like 10 by 10 spaces, and they got like half of it.
Yeah.
And it's just a lot of people who were banking on it for making money ended up losing money they couldn't afford to lose by being.
Yeah, I think somebody said they paid like $2,800 for a table there, and they made 0 sales.
Did Karen organize it?
I think so.
Karen did. You know what, Violetta? You hop on your tractor, you go to the next one, and you tell them how to do it right, Slovenian style.
Yeah.
If they don't listen, you get them like the gypsies. But yeah, those are the things.
Yeah. So that's been, sorry we haven't streamed much this week. It's been snowy AF.
Yeah, it's just hard for me to sit up.
Tomorrow, things are closed for like 2 days now.
Machine taking orders?
So
a machine? A robot?
We just needed to make sure that we were prepped.
Yeah.
For a few days.
It's nice to hang out with everybody. I forgot about this fucking...
Oh, the cat?
Terrible cat wound. He sliced up my hand at the start of stream like a little bastard.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to get that toxoplasmosis and run more food out to Carl in the middle of freezing. But we're just going to take it easy. Maybe go for a walk. My body gets stiff from sitting.
Oh, Philip, I know you weren't in earlier when we were giving a synopsis of the movie The Night of the Hunter from 1955. It's a really good movie. You should go watch it. Very highly recommended. Good movie. Not a bad movie. A good movie.
Yeah, it is, as we like to say around here, it is not a rope.
Nope.
It is not a rope.
Nope, it will not rope you in.
Well, it'll rope you in.
But in a good way.
It'll rope you in, but it won't grind.
Yeah.
While I build this rope and fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you, everybody, for coming to hang out. Hope you have a wonderful rest of the day.
And a wonderful weekend.
We'll see you on Discord.
And
I'll take care of my wounds
next week.
We'll see you soon.
We'll see you next week.
Holy shit, it's Mr. Pay. Just remember to send it.
Holy shit, it's Beef Supreme!
Take care of yourself and those around you.
I'm trying to make a heart.
You guys
Actually, we got to do it together. Oh. Which heart are you doing?
I was doing it like that. Like, that's how the cool kids do it nowadays, like that, right?
What?
I'm throwing fucking gang symbols.
Hearts! Everybody spam hearts in the corners. Spam hearts.
Bye. Bye.